Hey y'all, kicking ass and taking names someplace in Mexico, coming at y'all live. Well, may not be live, but that's right. It's live on Saturday day. So, just warning you in advance, dork on board. I don't drink beer, but if I do, it's usually something cheap. So I'll start that I need to collect my thoughts, probably put them on paper before I put together a video or start a vlog. Need to become a more dynamic speaker, need to enunciate better, need to have more inflection in my voice, or I sound boring. Started out thinking January of 2020, maybe it's 2019, I don't even remember. I was influenced by a friend who I saw on Facebook, and he was letting everyone know he was selling all his shit, quitting his job, and he did a countdown, one-way ticket to Southeast Asia. So I followed the cat through about 35 countries in a year and a half, and I saw he was coming back to the States, so I said, hey, he was from Southern California as well. When you're back in town, meet me in Newport Beach, my barrio, and we'll have drinks and catch up at a taqueria known as Javier's in Crystal Cove, one of my favorite spots. So he comes to town, and so I don't ramble on too much. He asked me what I was going to do. I just want to hear about all his stories. 35 countries, a year and a half. Told me he spent about $10,500. Lived kind of the backpack lifestyle in hostels on the road. He'd sleep in a tent, which I commend him for that. It's not quite my style. I do like at least a 2-star hotel minimum. Maybe a hostel if it's cool, and I got some hot girls there. I'd be okay with that. But he influenced me because he asked me what I was going to do. I said, well, I'm going to take off for Hawaii. I dig the islands. I live there about 6-9 months out of the year. And then I have my base here in Newport Beach. And he goes, dude, you're blowing it. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, Hawaii's amazing. He's like, yeah, but how many times you been to fucking Hawaii? I was like, I don't know, a dozen times. That's because it's badass. The islands, the weather, the water, the activities. Karate in the garage, it's got it all. Bunk beds, so much more room for activities. So he goes, no, he goes, dude, what you're going to do is you're going to take a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia, Bangkok. It's a hub. He goes, so once you land there, you just kind of blend in with the city. You're not on a holiday. You don't have an itinerary. You just figure out, what's going on in the city, what you like, find a gym, find your restaurants. And I thought about it. It's like, well, shit, like who, I never travel alone. Like I'm thinking like no one does that really. But he just did it. And I just thought he was different. And he's like, yeah, just do it. It goes $300, $400 one-way ticket. If you don't like it, you come back, the next day. So we had dinner and drinks at Javier's, the taqueria at Crystal Cove, Newport Beach. And he went his own way. He got like a Harley. He was going to ride through Mexico down into Panama, I guess. And I got home, and from the comfort of my couch, I booked a one-way ticket to Bangkok, Thailand. And once I got there, I felt a little lost. It's a new city, new culture, new people, but I was excited. And that was the cool thing about it. Because when you get to a new place and you don't speak the language and everything's new, it's all this sensory overload in Bangkok, if you've ever been there. And it was exciting. So, I stay at the Radisson Suites, 4-star hotel, rooftop lounges and the sort, but right across the skywalk, they have the street food and the street bars and people from Cambodia, with little babies sleeping on cardboard, next to the Mercedes dealership. So a lot of disparity, but I'm off topic. I should have collected my thoughts and written some things down. But just want to say that was a paradigm shift in my life, kind of like a lot of things. And also that was the start of me, I guess, by, unconsciously becoming a minimalist. For the past 2 years, I've lived out of a carry-on and a backpack. And I realized I didn't need all this shit back at my home or put it in storage. So in short, my travels were cut short. From Bangkok, I swam with elephants in Phuket, did a little stint back in Bangkok, and then the pandemic was coming on, so I didn't want to get stuck over there. I figured I'd head back home, and my next destinations were Colombia and Brazil. So I got back, and yeah, as everyone knows, things just kept progressing and travel shut down. So I toured around California for a while, took off for Texas, spent some time in Vegas with friends, all places I love, but I've done plenty of times. And then they shut down the gyms and outdoor dining in California, I think around November 2020. So Hawaii was open. Safe travels Hawaii. All you needed was a negative test. Took off to Hawaii for a few months. That was freaking amazing. I got some videos from there, some great experiences. Wrapped up a couple months in Oahu, and then back home for a while, some traveling around, and then I took off for Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's a lovely city, great experiences, cool people, cool vibes. You got the water there. Then back home to California, traveling around a little bit, and then I took off for Mexico again, June 18th, 2021 to Cancun. So Cancun's in the region of Quintana Roo. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, but that's a state in Mexico. So from there, you have Cancun, you have Playa del Carmen. Across the way is Cozumel. I took a trip there, got recertified open water diving, had some great dives. Love the snorkeling there, the little bars and day clubs. You just walk from your hotel, you walk through a bar, and in the back they got this magical little launching point and an arch, and you just jump in the water and snorkel there. The water's green and blue, just amazing. And along the ways, I met some real good people, solito, so I do some Tinder dating. I like to say I'm living the dream. Life is good, and I'm not bragging. And I know some people will see this and like, who the F is this guy? Who's he think he's talking to? Who wants to hear this shit? And you know the answer? I want to hear it. I want to hear myself say it. And I want to see if I can influence a couple other cats to do a paradigm shift in their life. If they're not happy with their job, with who they're with what they're doing, especially if they're lucky enough to have a government pension, like I'm blessed to have, then the world is their oyster. Like, you could go anywhere and do anything, and it's fucking exciting, and it renews you. So I'm not against the family life. Sometimes I wish I had a bigger family. When I grew up with lots of love, lots of extended family. Well, it shrunk it down to almost nothing. I have a younger brother who I'm close to and I love, and I have my daughter, and I raised her, co-parented her with her mom until she was grown, and now I've had to find a new purpose. So I downsized, I sold Porsches, I sold property, I sold or donated a closet full of fancy Italian suits that I never wear, probably couldn't fit into them. A bunch of Air Jordans, and I should have put those in a lot and have someone, consign. So someone at Goodwill got, I don't know, I had a dozen pair of Jordans and other sneakers. And I just started traveling. And I encourage you, if you're remotely thinking about it, if you remotely are just getting bored with your life, and don't get me wrong, I had an amazing life in California, living in Newport Beach, had good friends, places to go. I'm financially independent, so I can indulge in the California lifestyle. But something was missing. And once I started traveling, that's when the light went on. So now you have it. I'm someplace lost in Mexico, kicking ass and taking names at this beautiful villa. You know, you see me hanging out in here, and I'm not doing it to brag. I'm just sharing it because sometimes it's just too good to be true. So you guys could do the same thing, or do it as a couple, but just start traveling. Don't let the government or propaganda, you know, keep you stateside, because there's some amazing places. The country of Mexico has so much culture and history. The colonial towns, like there's a lot of great towns to travel as couples, and to travel cheap, and to retire cheap. So I know I'm all over the board. If I do more videos, I'll try to collect my thoughts and hit some talking points. If by chance anyone has any questions about how I do this, or more about the life of just being a vagabundo and living the dream, traveling the world, then reach out to me. You know, if you see me here, you know where to find me, and I encourage you. Or if you just find your own path, start watching YouTube videos. It'll just open up a whole nother world. And if you know what I'm talking about, and you're good, like most people are, and you're in the flyover states, or you're in, you know, the beautiful South, when it's freaking hot and humid, but you got the lakes and the rivers, or you're in California, and you love it, then I have friends like that, and I applaud them. You know, it's all about living your best life, making every day count, all those cliches. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Secret, 4-hour work week, Think and Grow Rich, which is not about riches per se, all influenced my life, along with mentors who subscribe to the same principle, whether they're in real life or virtual. But there's more than life than just coming home to your 4-bedroom, 4-bath house with the pool in the back, and that cool barbecue island, and doing your thing there. Mix it up, downsize, you know, grab life by the balls and make it your bitch. So right now, signing off, kicking ass and taking names, someplace in Mexico.